So Infernal is going to be the deciding map. And now we're just waiting for our first and second. Curse Hollow. So what was the other one? Infernal Shrines, Battlefield of Eternity, was it? What was the second game? Dragonshire?
What?
What was the second? What was the last map ban
that we just played? The one we just watched.
No, what was the last map ban just now?
It was Tomb.
Tomb. Okay. I've got terrible memory. Thank you for that. Okay, so our maps that we're going to play will be Curse Hollow, Tomb of the Spider Queen, and then the decider will be Infernal Shrines if it makes it to a Game 3. However, right now we have Tyrande ban and Uther ban.
1 out of 5 banned Tyrande their first game that we watched as well, didn't they?
Yes.
I guess they just really don't like to play against that. First pick, they could look for an Abathur right now.
Yeah, Curse Hollow, it's a big map. Abathur's very good at it.
Yeah, it gives you a good soak lead when people get... No, I'm pretty sure this is what they did last time as well. They just banned Tyrande and then picked Tassadar. I guess they put a huge priority on those off supports, which I guess is not a bad strategy given how good they are in this meta.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to say Mirrodin Sonya here. Probably.
Mirrodin Sonya is yeah.
That Tyrande ban is good from them as well, knowing how good I Don't Know Man played the Tyrande last game.
Yeah, I mean definitely. I was going to say definitely Mirrodin coming out here, but in fact, Sonya locked in first, so definitely Sonya, and then there's that Mirrodin
Sonya.
I mean, you know what you're talking about. I'm not going to deny that.
They're just the best at what they do right now, and taking that Sonya away from 1 out of 5 when they've got the Tassadar is perfect. And with the Tyrande ban, they're going to find it hard to burst this Sonya down. Then with that Tassadar taking a damage spot as well, it reduces your burst damage a lot. There's Jaina. That's the obvious
follow up
response.
She's really good versus Sonya, I just feel.
Just the fact that you can kite really helps. If I was them, I'd maybe be... I don't know. If they go for an Abathur comp, I'm just trying to think what else they could run with it. You could run Illidan, but Illidan's awful against Sonya. So I doubt they're going to go for that.
Like you say, Illidan's bad against Sonya, but Tassadar and Abathur are still in. Tassadar's already picked, and Abathur is still in. So it could work, but
I can't see them taking Illidan against Sonya.
Not against the Sonya.
They're really taking a long time to think of this one. I mean, I'm struggling to think of what I'd pick here as well. I feel like looking for a solid support.
I feel like pick up Karazim at that point.
Raynor.
Because then you've got the Karazim Tassadar, but they end up going with the Raynor, like you say, and I think I don't know, man.
The Karazim would have been pretty good here with 7-sided.
Yeah, that's exactly why. You've already got the Tassadar who can go Force Wall, provides the shields, so you don't necessarily need Divine Palm. You then throw out so you can have 7-sided strike to nuke down the Mirrodin or the Sonya, whoever gets in your front line.
Whoever gets isolated, yeah. Especially as we've seen 1 out of 5 using Force Wall. So the idea would be that you isolate someone and then 7-sided strike them. I mean, they can still go for it right now. It's still open, but I think I Don't Know Man will probably take Karazim now. It's either going to be Karazim or Brightwing, and I just think Karazim in general, if you're going for a standard comp, which they are right now, is probably the safer bet. I like the Raynor. He's good at... Okay, Malfurion. Alright. Throw everything I said out the window. Malfurion, Sylvanas. They like Sylvanas.
They do. I mean, everyone's liking Sylvanas these days.
I think that Ethereal may come out for 1 out of 5 here to give them that sanctification. It's what we saw them run before to good effect. It just gives the invulnerability. With Uther out of the game, it's the only invulnerability left. So, Karazim for them.
Karazim is still the pickup, so they're able to get their Karazim, which we thought would have been really good.
The question is whether we'll see 7-sided or Divine Palm. I'd be looking for 7-sided.
As would I. I don't think there's anything really drastic you need to Divine Palm against, other than the Sonya's damage. But you've got a Reyna,
and the Sonya's going to get
Tassadar, and like the Jaina's going to mean the Sonya's going to get kited. Tassadar can escape Sonya. Reyna has Adrenaline Rush and can escape, so can survive a little bit longer against Sonya to be saved by Karazhan and Tassadar. Karazhan, he's mostly okay versus Sonya, especially if he takes 7-sided strike to really nuke her down. So
he can just run away, essentially jump away.
I think 1 out of 5 looking for that solo tank. Johanna been taken out. Murden's not available. What do you look for here? ETC or Arthur's impact to the pick? I was about to suggest him because Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead will allow him to survive.
Yeah. It means that he's a viable solo tank.
Right now, I don't know, man, don't have much in the way of burst other than their Sonya, and they don't have... Okay, Falstad adds a bit more burst.
Yeah, a little bit more burst, at least.
It's going to be hard for that Arthas post-16. He's going to be strong in the early game, and then he's really going to probably... Between 16 and 20, that Arthas is really going to struggle, because he's going to be reduced vulnerability by that Sylvanas at 16. And then he could pretty much just get burst out by Sonya and Falstad. But then when you get to 20, Hardened Shield fixes that. But I'm just looking through these drafts and trying to figure out what the key plays here are. I think it's going to be key if Muradin and Sonya can both land their stuns and get on the same target and then just nuke them. But against
and
Tassadar,
I really think that target has to be the Karazhan.
It does.
I don't think anybody else will do.
The problem is if he doesn't die instantaneously, which I don't think he will, he's just going to press 7-sided or Q away. These are going to be sustained fights, I think. And I would give the advantage to actually 1 out of 5 in that, in the fact that they've just got essentially 2 supports. They've got a support and an off support. The Malfurion's probably going to run out of mana before they do.
Yeah, and I hate to go for it again, but I'm a support main, as you might know, as the chat almost certainly knows about me now. Double support tickles my fancy, so I'm always going to go with the double support. I mean, I had the excuse of Brightwing being my absolute favourite hero to play in the last double support that we casted, but again, I'm a big fan of Karazhan. Tassadar, I can take him or leave him, but I love Karazhan, and I love the double support meta that we're seeing come back a little bit these days. No, I say come back a little bit, come back a lot these days.
I love Karazhan. He's definitely the most fun support to play. If you play him, he's just so interesting to play. I love the Korean build, the sort of Q talents on 13 and 16. It's just a slightly more aggressive build. It allows you to be in the fight and moving around a lot. Super fun to play in solo queue.
I do tend to take the extra charge of dash, level 16, I believe it is.
Yeah,
that's a lot of fun.
The move speed on 13 for you and your ally is really great.
Oh yeah,
especially if you've got a diver like a Sonya or something. Just giving them that move speed so they can just charge in is awesome. Yeah, this should be an interesting game, but of course it doesn't all ride on this game because it's a best of 3, so we'll see. I think both teams have tried to go for sort of standard things this game. They're probably feeling each other out right now. And we might see some more crazy picks next.
I say both teams also have a slightly kind of more unorthodox pick with the Arthur solo tank and with the Falstad DPS. I mean, they're both picked regularly enough for it to not be like a whoa moment, but they aren't the typical standard. However, saying that, Curse Hollow, Falstad's really good on because of his the
ability to
mount,
move around the map. Yeah,
it's almost.
I'll be
like
interested to see what ult he picks as well. I think most teams that are running Falstad now are really actually favouring Gust.
Yeah, and I actually think Mighty Gust would be the smart choice, and I think that's mostly because a lot of the team fight. Oh, we have Buccaneer Falstad, by the way. I think a lot of the team fight potential from 1 out of 5 comes with Force Wall being taken, and Force Wall blocking off a couple people Sonya jumps in,
like
Muradin jumps in,
skin.
force wall, you block the Sonya away from having Malfurion and stop her, and then the Sonya will die. However, if you have Mighty Gus on Falstad, as soon as that force wall goes down, you can knock them all back, effectively saving your Sonya and re-engage. Which is really cool. And as you can hear, we have it going down behind us. Buccaneer Falstad skin. Betrayer Malfurion skin. Cursed Hollow is the map it's going to be. We've already seen this map this tournament. We are now into our grand finals of this eSports Wall hosted Heroes of the Storm Open Tournament. This is the best of 3. The first map, as we can all see, is Cursed Hollow. Second map will be Tomb of the Spider Queen, and the decider shall be Infernal Shrines.
Who do you think is going to win this?
Oh, I'm going to favour 1 out of 5 for this game.
For this game.
This game.
Yeah.
For the overall tournament, I think I don't know, man, are consistent enough to pull it back, and I would love to see it taken to a game 3. I think it's going to be 2-1 either way.
I'm not going to say for the overall tournament, but I was going to go with 1 out of 5 for the, again, sort of double support.
Okay,
I think it's really nice. I think they're going to sustain. But I don't know, man, have cool skins, so I'm going with them.
Okay, that's a good way to do it. So if you'd like to introduce the cool skin team and name the skins.
We have Betrayer Malfurion being played by Kirsten. The Master Muradin by Komek. Buccaneer Falstad by Yumx. Atomicon just plain default Sylvanas.
I know, really letting his team down there, isn't he?
And then Master Sonya by Meneldor, so there you go.
Yeah, and 1 out of 5 is going to be played by plain old Karazim, being played by Gromsd. Surgeon is going to be on that plain old Rayna. Lobster on the plain old Jaina. Nicken on the plain old Arthas. And at the least we have a skin tint for Endo Rocket on that Tassadar.
Skin to win, man.
Yeah, skins equal wins. For anybody who's played
right. At the top lane, they're going to get a lot of push here. With that, again, they're abusing this Sylvanas to just push early game. Not entirely sure why they backed off there.
Yeah, I think they were absolutely
right. This is quite clever by they almost disappeared from mid lane, and you would have thought that they would be going top to stop that push, but instead they went and got that gank off. It was really nice. Nice.
I mean, I saw on the minimap the heroes going bottom, but I didn't even move the screen off the top, and the false ended up dying. Sorry about missing that first blood there, guys.
He was just behind his gate as well. And
I saw the end of the storm fizzling out there, and I was like, oh, okay, so they just about got him there.
This Malfurion's going to give them nice sustaining pushing as well. Yeah. Both teams with some really nice opening moves. Really nice opening moves by I don't know, man, but then countered straight away with that gank.
Yeah, from 1 out of 5, and this Sylvanas kind of abuse has become a bit of a norm for this tournament, at least this time.
It's kind of triggering me actually. I hate Sylvanas, so can you stop using her well?
You're going to have to draft her. Your team are going to laugh at you, aren't they? It's
when it gets picked in Hero League, and it's just I'm always like, instantly.
Oh, we have a gank attempt on the Arthas there. The really, really good Malfurion root come down,
oh
but
my
God.
I thought he was going to get away.
As did I, but that last Moonfire coming out from the team captain.
Really nice.
I say team captain. Who is the team captain? I think it's Kirsten. For I don't know, man. Or Yumks, or Atomic. Atomic is the team captain. Aha.
I think it should be the Sonya player, personally, but that's just me.
I think it's the only person who doesn't have an interesting skin than the Atomic. Meanwhile, nice. Surgeon's going to get stunned and initiated on. His adrenaline rush is going to pop as the first tribute is successfully taken by Kirsten, and Meldor taking a lot of follow-up damage, going to be able to back off. And
that was just really nice. They got there before 1 out of 5 did, and they were just able to force them out to take it. But slight soak lead going over to 1 out of 5 at the minute.
And the fact that they got the initial kill as well meant that there was nobody soaking bottom lane for a short time.
Still quite an even game right now, though. I'm just going to have a look at some of the talents. Faustad with the lower cooldown on
Yeah,
Barrel.
we actually have a good interception on the Sonya, just as she was using her Hearthstone to back away after taking the hard camp.
At least she got the hard camp.
Yes.
If they'd lost that hard camp as well, it would have been pretty devastating.
All that was, though, was really good map knowledge and awareness of what's going on from I Don't Know Man. 105, sorry, with the really good knowledge and I Don't Know Man.
It's quite standard for people to just try and take a Merc camp before a tribute on this map. I'm surprised he didn't go and try and catch out that Jane.
Yeah, I know. I saw the Jane. I was like, oh god. But the Nikken is going to get caught out here and take all the damage. Karazhan able to just about come out in, but the Falstad flying in. Oh, there's so much damage on the Falstad. But the Arthur's, yeah, the Arthur's able to just about get a kill. Meanwhile, Sonya's going to be a follow-up kill, and this means that Tastar will most likely be able to just take this tribute. Surgeon taking some damage, going to get shielded up. Muradin re-engaging with the Dwarf Toss, so no escape for him at this moment. Adrenaline Rush coming out there. Karazhan going to be able to dash and strike his way out, and that is going to be a tribute for 1 out of 5 as the Tastar was able to channel that. So well
it's a really nice barrel roll at the end of that fight by Faustad just to get away and survive. Just as Reyno's Q is about to come in. Level 7 talents are coming in for both teams again now. Nothing crazy so far.
Yeah, full shield build up for the Tassadar again.
That's what they want. They want to be playing sustained fights against with the combo
against the Sonya. Yeah, I mean Reyna and Jaina are just going to do so much damage in a sustained fight. And the Karazhan,
that Reyna.
I mean, Karazhan and Malfurion, I think Malfurion is a little bit more favoured in a sustained fight, just overall. But if the fight goes on too long, mana will start to become an issue for Malfurion, and the Karazhan will really outshine.
I think once that Tranquility's done with, that's it.
Yeah.
Then Karazhan will start out-sustaining you. Especially if his team are clumped up tightly and he can get those heals on everyone, especially the double proc heal. Although, he hasn't gone... Yeah, okay, he's gone the usual talents.
I was going to mention before this fight starts, if I can, that the Falstad hasn't gone with Power Throw at level 1. He went with Seasoned Marksman and then into the Secret Weapon mode. So maybe not going to get that much...
That's going to give him a bit more burst.
Yeah, but he's not going to get a huge amount, as much damage as you normally would with the Power Throw. Speaking of that, the fight is going to come out here, and the really good Malfurion route lands on the Arthur. He's not able to survive out through that as the stuns come down, and he's going to get picked up. Karazhan using 2 dashing strikes to dash in and quickly interrupt Malfurion before he captures the tribute and dash back out to save his life, but he is going to end up falling. Meanwhile, the Sonya and Sylvanas end up dying. Sonya died earlier on in that fight. Reyna damage coming through, really powering through. That Falstad going to get picked up, and the chase out from Lapstone Surgeon. 1 out of 5, winning a fight. 3 kills for 2.
The fights are just going how 1 out of 5 want them to go. They were just able to... Although the first kill actually went on their side, their team as a whole were healthier. And they put out enough damage.
Yeah, it was the tank that died, so all the kind of burst damage that was available to I Don't Know Man went into the Arthas, who is the tankiest target, and it unfortunately...
It really needs to go on one of the damage dealers. They need to be trying to catch out the Reyna or Jaina. They're gonna...
Yeah, it can be a contention for this boss down the bottom lane. Tassad's going to come in there. Really good dashing strike out from the Karazhan. He might get picked up. Force will come down, trying to block out the Karazhan. He's going to end up dying. The boss is going to go in favour... Oh no, Karazhan didn't die, sorry. 7-sided strike. Boss is going to end up going in favour of I Don't Know Man as a result of the 7-sided strike. But it is going to be 3 kills picked up for 1 out of 5. Which means there's nobody to defend the boss up in top, and they're just going to be able to have all 5 of their remaining members defend against this bottom boss, and Nikken's going to channel that tribute for a curse.
That's like perfect placement on that tribute. Yeah. Just free for them, they can freely defend the boss, then just push this bottom. And
that's 2 forts
they got
down.
really far ahead off those 3 kills, even further ahead than they already were.
I think that the 7-sided strike was great, and however, completely saved the Karazhan's life there. When it went off, as I said, mid-fight, I thought he had died, but no, it was a 7-sided strike going on. I just feel like maybe there could have been somebody else standing on the boss plot.
Yeah, maybe with some quick communication, someone else could have hopped in to like stand on the point. But you know, in the heat of the moment, that's quite hard to actually.
But giving up that boss wasn't, or rather, not being able to successfully contest the boss wasn't the end of the world, as they did pick up 3 kills and 2 forts with it.
I would have loved to have seen the 1 out of 5 there, just going round the back of that fort there and picking off the Malfurion.
Yeah.
Especially when they're cursed.
But playing a little bit safer. Not going through that choke point necessarily and getting caught between the keep. But Sonya going to leap, and we're going to have a massive shock and all coming down. Sorry, a Hinterland Blast landing on 3 means that Jane and the Tass are going to get picked up. Nikon's going to fall as well. Komek on that Muradin going to be able to stun out the Karazin. He'll probably be able to get away, no problem anyway, because of dashing strike. But wow, now that we have the ultimates out for, I don't know, man, we can really see the power of their team fight. Jesus, that was intense.
Ultimates that people would not be expecting as much either. Mostly the leap on Sonya. This is what I was saying in one of the earlier games. People really underestimate leap.
I mean, it used to be the go-to talent, but
it was the go-to
a long time ago.
Now I think it's just situational which you should pick, and definitely the leap is really going to serve them here because they need to just burst some targets, kill them. They can't out-sustain with their comp against 1 out of 5's comp.
Reina taking some damage here, getting harassed away, but Malfurion got really aggressively high, although Nikon's in a bit of a bad position, as there are 4 members down there. Reina and now the Arthas are on half health, as is the Tassadar. He went through an awkward way, but the Muradin got 7-sided strike down to death as he was very aggressive, trying to peel for his team. Meanwhile, the Malfurion gets rooted, he's probably going to end up dying, and 2 for naught. 1 out of 5, really seizing the bad positioning out there from I don't know man, who got a little bit over aggressive chasing that Reina.
Sonya wasn't really able to achieve anything there in that fight, which I think is why it went. She was late to the fight, and then by the time she got there and would have been able to leap on someone, someone was already dead. The front line was dead. So good call to just for her to not, or him or her, to
we'll
not.
We'll go with
use
the hero's gender. It just makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good call for them to not leap, for Menel'dor to not leap in and throw her.
The next fight is probably going to happen around this tribute, and there's no talent advantage. There is a level advantage to 1 out of 5, but this fight could still go either way right now.
Yeah, and with Shrink Ray being taken against the Reina, now Malfurion's able to take Shrink Ray. The Reina's not going to do as much work as he has
only issue is this Tranquility is 20-second cooldown still.
Yes, as it was used to try and save him earlier. But we get the start of the fight here. Nikan taking a lot of damage. 7-side strike coming on the Solo Falstad. Not going to do a huge amount of damage. And a huge leap with the shock and all. Ice block coming out from the Jaina though. Going to be really good. The Muradin's going to end up dying, as is the Sonya. This is our entire front line. Force Wall. Not good placement from the team, but it was able to cancel it, and they picked up the Malfurion as well. That fight just went perfectly for 1 out of 5. I mean, the Shock and Awe landed on Hinterland's Blast. I keep saying Shock and Awe. It's ages since it's changed.
Shock and Awe's cool though.
Yeah, it definitely is. I don't know what it is, but Hinterland's Blast did land on 3 heroes again, I believe. But the Jaina, who would have died to it, was able to get the ice block off, which is where that level 13 talent really came into effect, and with the Arthas and the Karazin both taking Relentless, it's hard for the Muradin to do enough lockdown.
Neither of them actually took the siege camp there. I think they forgot.
Oh, in the top lane, yeah.
they killed it and then just both based. Interesting. Yeah, I think both bosses are going to go over to 1 out of 5 here. They've got the 16 talents. Let's have a look and see if anything crazy picked. No, very standard talents on both. Reynor's now got that stun on his Q, which is really difficult for that Sonya to deal with. They're just going to look for this tribute fight.
Sonya getting really aggressive there. Could have thrown a life away. That was risky. Meanwhile, Curson and Atomic are in a really bad position. Malfurion going to get caught out here a little bit, but a good route to get himself out. Meanwhile, the Sonya's taking a huge amount of damage again. The Tranquility goes off, going to keep everything alive. Well, the So the Sylvanas arrow, I think, only landed on the Reyna there. It was a little bit whiffed, a bit too greedy, trying to land on more targets than it could have. Sonya and Malfurion going to end up being picked off. The boss there going to block out this retreat as it was channeling a stun, and the Ranger's come through doing all the damage he wants to in the world. Hyperion going to come down, and this is going to be a keep, and they might even be able to push more with this. Probably not, though.
I think they're going to end off this, but they're definitely going to take the keep. Maybe if they catch someone now, they can end. No, they're just going to play it safe and leave. They've still got talent advantage. Next tribute is a curse. They can take the boss.
Yeah, take the boss and the hard camp down in bottom.
Lots of options for them. No need to go do anything risky. I think that in that last fight, Team I don't know, man, were very split. They had the wall near the watchtower between like half their team. And they really suffered because of that, especially with the Malfurion, the fact that he's, you need to be close to him to use Tranquility effectively. I think they just need to be a bit closer together, almost.
Yeah, and this tribute spawning in kind of the best situation for 1 out of 5 now. All they need to do is win this next fight, they get the curse and the boss, and they push for the win, really. And they're going to end up getting the curse. Do they go for a boss here, or do you think that's a waste of time? Do you think they should just push with this?
If they go for this boss, I mean, this is a potential throw. Is as if I don't know, man, get a good fight here. They are 16. There's no talent advantage. If they get a
really
good
force wall block out there though, and they the leap coming down as well as the dwarf toss coming down. Although the 7-side strike really blowing up the Sonya immediately along with the rest of the team damage. Reyna just right clicking, no focus is being done to him whatsoever. Falstad's going to die, Muradin's going to die, Sylvanas is going to die, Malfurion will end up dying most likely as a Hyperion comes out to cover that fight, and that is absolutely it. I don't know, man. Lose this first, will most likely end up losing this first game versus 1 out of 5.
They really tunneled on trying to get onto that point. The Sonya ult should have... It went on the tank, really, and that was it. I think perhaps they could have used the ults on the back line, and then Falstad could have flown over to get the boss, but, these things happen in the heat of the moment. Well played by both teams.
Yes. 1 out of 5 taking this first game. And taking this best of 3 at the moment, 1-0 in their favour. So we're going to move on to the second game, which will be on Tomb of the Spider Queen.